Picture this. You're sitting in silence, staring at your phone, waiting for a message that already feels late. Nothing dramatic happened. No fight, no goodbye, just a shift, a cold tone, a distance you can't explain. Your mind starts searching for mistakes. You replay every word, every moment, and the more you think, the more you realize something terrifying. You didn't lose her because you did something wrong. You lost control the moment you stopped understanding what was happening. What you're about to hear isn't comfortable. It isn't romantic. But if you've ever felt tested, confused, or quietly replaced, this will explain everything. You're sitting alone in a quiet room. The world hasn't changed, but you have. The phone is in your hand, the screen is lit, and you're staring at words that feel colder than they should. You replay every moment in your head, searching for the mistake. You were present, you were loyal, you were consistent, and yet something shifted. The warmth faded, the tone changed, and the most dangerous question enters a man's mind: what did I do wrong? That's where men begin to break, not from pain but from confusion. Because when a man doesn't understand the rules of the game, he assumes the fault is his. My friend, what you're experiencing is not random. It's not bad luck. It's not moodiness. It's a process, a psychological one. Every woman, without exception, tests the man she is afraid to lose. Not because she hates him, but because she is emotionally invested in him. And the moment emotional attachment deepens, her nervous system doesn't relax. It activates. Love, for her brain, is not peace. Love is risk, and risk must be measured. When her dopamine rises from your presence, your confidence, your stability, your masculine calm, her cortisol rises alongside it. Pleasure and fear move together. Attachment and anxiety are linked in brain chemistry. Her subconscious begins asking a brutal, instinctive question: if this man disappears tomorrow, will I survive emotionally? And once that question exists, testing begins. Pressure is applied, boundaries are nudged, reactions are provoked, not consciously, not maliciously, but biologically. She may start arguments over nothing. She may bring up old wounds during moments of peace. She may pull away right after intimacy. She may challenge your decisions or subtly disrespect your boundaries. These are not accidents. These are diagnostics. She isn't asking if you love her. She's asking if you are emotionally regulated when she destabilizes the environment. Because emotional regulation is leadership, and leadership is safety. This is where most men fail. They assume the problem is emotional, so they offer emotional solutions. They explain, they overcommunicate, they apologize for things they didn't do, they chase reassurance, they sacrifice self-respect in exchange for temporary calm. But what no one tells men is this: emotional instability is never cured by emotional overinvestment. In fact, it does the opposite. It signals weakness under pressure. And the moment a man collapses emotionally, attraction begins to decay. Not dramatically, not loudly, quietly. Respect erodes first, then desire, and eventually the man is left with confusion and silence. He didn't change, but in her perception, his value did. Because attraction is not built on words or intentions. It's built on emotional control. The man who remains centered when provoked. The man who doesn't react but responds. The man who enforces boundaries calmly, without explanation. Society teaches men that vulnerability is strength, that emotional openness is maturity, that expressing everything is healthy. What society doesn't teach is restraint. It doesn't teach emotional weight. It doesn't teach that a man who places all of his emotional burden outside himself becomes light, so light that any storm can move him. And when a man is easily moved, a woman's subconscious loses trust. Not because she wants to, because she is programmed to. Here's the bitter truth. Every woman tests the man she doesn't want to lose, but only once does she test whether she can replace him. After that test, the relationship doesn't explode, it fades. It becomes routine, predictable, empty. And when predictability replaces polarity, love quietly dies. So what is the solution? Not anger, not dominance, not withdrawal. The solution is emotional sovereignty, remaining calm under pressure, responding instead of reacting, holding boundaries without defending them, not because you are cold, but because you are grounded. The goal is not to pass her tests. The goal is to become the kind of man who doesn't need to. Because when a man decides his own value, the world and women feel it without a single word being spoken. And once you understand this, you stop breaking yourself trying to be understood. You stop chasing peace. You become it. Here's a long, powerful final message to the audience, written as a closing monologue, final SMS, calm but heavy, masculine, reflective, designed to linger in the listener's mind after the video ends. Before you close this video, before you scroll, before life pulls you back into noise, I want you to sit with one uncomfortable truth. You were never weak for feeling deeply. You were never foolish for loving honestly. You were never wrong for wanting peace instead of conflict. But you were misled about where your power actually lives. No man is destroyed by love itself. Men are destroyed by losing themselves inside it. When you abandon your center, when you trade your calm for validation, when you explain your worth instead of embodying it, you don't become more loving. You become less respected. And respect is the foundation everything else stands on. Here's what no one tells you growing up. The world does not reward men who bleed openly. It rewards men who can carry weight without collapsing. Men who can feel deeply without becoming reactive. Men who can love without begging to be chosen. That doesn't make you cold. It makes you grounded. You are allowed to care, but you are not allowed to lose yourself to be cared about. From this moment forward, stop asking, what can I do to keep her? Ask a better question. Who do I need to become so that I am never afraid of losing anyone? Because the man who knows he will be okay, with or without her, is the man who is never truly tested. He is calm when challenged, silent when provoked, firm without being loud, and impossible to manipulate. Not because he is dominant, but because he is whole. If this message resonated with you, don't ignore that feeling. That's not anger, that's not bitterness, that's awareness waking up. Take it with you, apply it quietly, and let your actions speak where words never could. Stay disciplined, stay centered, and never forget your value was never meant to be negotiated. You don't chase peace, you become it.